Hello everyone, welcome back to King's Education. So today we'll be going through Anglo-Chinese Primary School Combined Prelim Examinations for 2019 P6 Math Paper 2. Okay, let's start. Okay, question 1. John cut out a quarter circle with a radius of 10 cm from a piece of rectangular paper as shown below. What is the perimeter of the shaded part? Let me grab a highlighter. So they want you to find the perimeter of the shaded part. So I assume is this. So I've highlighted the perimeter. So this part is 10. This part is 6 cm. So we need to find out this part as well as this part. So actually you can cut this up. You realize that from here to here is also 6 cm. Next thing, so this is a quarter circle, so this part will be 10 cm. This part will also be 10 cm. So this part from here, this point to this point, it should be 10 cm. So essentially you have found out that this side is actually 6 cm plus 10 cm, which is 16 cm. So the last part is that you need to find the circumference of this quarter circle in order to find the length of this side. So let's try to find it out. So the formula for circumference is pi times diameter, or you can use pi times 2 times r. I always like to use pi times 2 times r. So pi times 2 times r. Here the radius is 10 cm. And not forgetting, you need to times 1/4, because this is a quarter circle. You're not finding the circumference for a full circle. So let's try to calculate answer. So pi, so 3.14 times 2 times 10, that is 62.8 divided by 4. So you should get 15.7 cm, and this is this part. So to find the perimeter of everything, you just need to add up all together. So 15.7 cm plus the 6 cm here plus the 10 cm here plus the 16 cm here. So 16, 26, 32 plus 15.7 is 47.7 cm, and that's my answer. Okay, next, question 2. The table shows the number of pupils with the following scores. So score 11, score 12, score 13, 14, 15. So there's 3 students who scored 11, 1 student who scored 12, 0 students scored 13, 2 students scored 14, and 4 students scored 15. So question 1 you to find what was the average score of all the pupils. So first thing, find out how many pupils are there. So 3 plus 1 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4. So total students that took the test was 3, 4, 6, 10. There was 10 students. So they want you to find the average score. So 3 students got 11, and 1 student got 12. 0 students got 13, 2 students got 14, and 4 students got 15. So what I'm trying to find here is the total scores of all the pupils. So I should get 33 plus 12 plus 0 plus 13 times 0 is 0 plus 28 plus 60, and this should give me 133. So the total score, this is my total score. The total score is 133, and it's shared among 10 students. So the average score is actually 133 divided by 10, which is 13.3. That's my answer. Okay, next. Question 3. Mrs. Lim bought some beads for Jessica and Karen. For each 8 beads Jessica took, Karen took 5. In the end, Jessica had 216 more beads than Karen. How many beads did Mrs. Lim buy? So, for every 8 beads Jessica took, Karen took 5. So can I say that Jessica to Karen, the number of beads they have is 8:5, the ratio. I don't know, it can't be that Jessica only take 8 beads, but the ratio will be 8:5. So they say that in the end Jessica had 216 more beads than Karen. So we just take this as 8 units and 5 units. So the difference is actually 3 units, and this 3 units is actually 216 beads. So we can find what is 1 unit. 1 unit is 216 divided by 3, which is 72. So the question wants you to find out how many beads did Mrs. Lim buy. So in total there's actually 13 units. So 13 units is equals to 72 times 13, which is 936. And that's my answer. Okay, let's move on to question 4. In the grid below, draw and label an isosceles triangle PQR in which PQ equals to QR and PQR equals to 120 degrees. The line PQ is drawn for you. Okay, so before I draw on the dot, let me try drawing a sketch of it. So an isosceles triangle has 2 equal sides. So PQ equals to QR. PQ equals to QR. Okay, and they say the angle PQR is 120 degrees, so 120 degrees. So since line PQ has been drawn for you, you can go ahead and measure. So I use a ruler to measure. It is around 6.5 cm. Yeah. So let me label my sketch. So it's around 6.5 cm, and they want the angle to be 120 degrees. So for this question, you need to use a protractor. So let me flip the paper. Okay, so I need it to be 120 degrees. So align your protractor. So this P, this Q. Okay, now the protractor is blocking, but Q is here. So R will be in 120 degrees direction, so which is this side. Let me use a pencil for this. So this, I place it on the end of the at Q, so 120 degrees along this line. So I can take it as this dot. Okay, so continuing, it's in this direction. And since PQ equals to QR, so you need to draw 6.5 cm of QR, the line. So just draw. Okay, sometimes if you think your measurement is incorrect, another method you can do is by counting the dots. So 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4 dot, 5 dot. So here should have 5 dots also. 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4 dot, 5 dots. Yeah. So once you've drawn the line, please label R here. And then you connect them together. Okay, so you're pretty much done, but before you end off, please remember to draw this line to indicate that both sides are the same length. And the question told you the angle PQR equals to 120 degrees, so please go and label. And if for students who want to double check their answer, whether they have drawn correctly at the end when they finish their paper, so this is an isosceles triangle. Full triangle should have 180 degrees, right? So after minusing the 120 degrees at angle PQR, I still have another two angles here, and since this is an isosceles triangle, they should be the same. So 180 degrees minus 120 degrees equals 60 degrees. 60 degrees divided by 2 equals to 30 degrees. So each side should be 30 degrees. So you can go ahead and measure, but it's not necessary for you to label. So yep, it's 30 degrees here. Yep, 30 degrees here. Okay. Moving on. Question 5. At a carnival, 80% of the muffins were sold at full price. The remaining 60 muffins were sold at half price. The total amount of money collected from the sales of muffin was $864. What was the full price of a muffin? So for me, I like to convert the percentage to fraction. So 80% is actually 4/5. So 4/5 of the muffin was sold at full price. The remaining 60 muffins were sold at half price. So the remaining is actually 1/5. So you know that 1/5 of the total muffin is 60 muffins. So now we can find what's the total amount of muffins there are. So 60 times 5. So in total there's actually 300 muffins. Okay, so they say 80% was sold at full price. So 4/5 times 300 is 240. So these are the number of muffins that are sold at full price, and the remaining 60 of them were sold at half price. So if you were to look at this, 60 muffins at half price, okay, isn't it the same as 30 muffins at full price? Because since you're going to sell each of the 60 muffins at half of price, isn't it the same as you selling 30 muffins at full price? So using if you assume in this way, you can take it that actually the person sold 240 plus 30 muffins at full price, and you get $864. So with that, you can go and find what the full price of one muffin, which is $864 divided by 270. And shall we use a calculator? So each muffin is actually $320, And that's the answer. Okay, moving on. Question 6. Amy had $24.80 more than Betty at first. After Betty gave $14.20 to Amy, Amy had 3 times as much money as Betty in the end. How much did Betty have at first? So for this type of questions, I like to draw model. So before, I got Amy, I got Betty. Amy got more. Amy got $24.80 more. And afterwards, Betty gave Amy $14.20. So I can cut $14.20 from here. $14. Okay, let me redraw this so that it will be clearer for you guys. So before, so Amy, Betty, I'll draw it larger. Okay, so this is before, and after that Betty gave $14.20 to Amy. So can I assume that within this 1 unit there is actually a $14.20 here? So I can cut off $14.20, and if I can cut off here, I also can cut off here. Okay, so after that Betty gave this $14.20 to Amy. So Amy, Betty. So Betty is left with this thing. And Amy will be 1 unit. I call this 1 unit. Plus the $14.20 here. Plus the $24.80 here. Plus another $14.20 from Betty. And looking at the question, they say that Amy had 3 times as much money as Betty in the end. So in the end, which is also in the after scenario, they you can say that Betty has 1 unit, Amy has 3 units. Okay, so here we can actually compare these 2 models since they are supposed to be the same because they are in the after scenario. So you see, this 1 unit is the same as this 1 unit, this 1 unit is the same as this 1 unit. So what this means is that these 3 boxes here should add up to these 2 units. So let me do the calculations. 1420 plus 2480 plus 1420 equals to, so 1420 plus 2480 is $39 plus another 1420 is $53.20, and this is equals to 2 units. And this is when I say units, is referring to all these boxes without any money sign. So they want you to find how much money did Betty have at first. So Betty at first have 1 unit and $14.20. So find what is 1 unit. So that is $26.60. And your last step is just using $26.60 plus $14.20 here. So your answer should be $40.80. Okay, moving on to question 7. In the figure, AED and EBF are straight lines. So these are straight line. EBF is a straight line. AED, so these 2 are straight lines. And BCDE is a parallelogram. BCDE is a parallelogram. Okay, so this side is parallel to this side is parallel to this side. So the question wants you to find angle Y. Okay. So first thing, looking at this triangle DCB, you can find out what is this angle, because you already have two of the angles here. So once you know this angle here, it is actually the same as this angle because it is a parallelogram. Okay. So once you know this angle, they say that AED is a straight line. So with this, you know this angle, you can also find what is this angle. And once you know angle AEB, you can find angle Y. Okay, so let's start. So angle DCB is equals to 180 degrees minus 78 degrees minus 54 degrees equals to 48 degrees. So here is 48, here should be 48 degrees also. So next, find angle AEB. So angle AEB goes to 180 degrees minus 48 degrees, which is 132 degrees. So let me label. So your last step, you want to find angle Y, right? So you just take 180 degrees minus 132 degrees minus 35 degrees. And you should get 13 degrees. Okay, moving on. Question 8. A shirt costs $8, a tie costs half as much as the shirt. Part A, Mr. Tan bought 6 identical ties and 1 shirt. How much money did he spend in terms of N? Part B, Mr. Tan spent $256 on 6 identical ties and 1 shirt. Find the value of N. So this is an algebra question. So let's start. So 1 shirt, I will label as S, equals to $8N. A tie, let me label as T, is half as much as a shirt. So it will be $4N. The algebra with the N will still be there. Because when you divide by 2, you take 8, divide by 2, you get 4. So you get $4N for your tie. So Mr. Tan bought 6 identical ties and 1 shirt. So 6 ties plus 1 shirt. So equals to 6 $4N plus $8N. So when you multiply 6 times 4N, you just take 6 times 4, which is 24. So here will be $24N plus $8N. You get $32N in total. Okay, next. So part B, they say that Mr. Tan spent $256 on all these 6 ties and 1 shirt. So they want you to find the value of N. So 32N is equals to $256. So to find N, you must take 256 divided by $32, and you should get 8. So how do I know it's a divide sign here and not a time sign here? So the thing that I want to find is actually N. So from here to here, I'm actually dividing by 32. So whatever you do on the left hand side of the equal sign, you also have to do for the right hand side. So that's how I know it's actually divided by 32, and my answer is 8. Let me check. Yeah, 8. Okay, moving on. The line graph shows the number of books borrowed from a library from Monday to Friday. So part A, in which one day period was there the biggest change in the number of books borrowed? Which were the 2 days when the ratio of the number of books borrowed was 3:4. So first thing, please go and label your numbers. So 50 here, 52, 54. So 70 is here, 72, 74. Sometimes if you cannot see properly, use a ruler. So here, which is 2 parts below 40, so this should be 36. This is straight 60, and this is 72. Okay, so in which one-day period were there the biggest change in the number of books borrowed? So actually you can just see from the graph, the largest change will be the one which had the biggest drop or the biggest increase. So or another way is you can compare each day by each day. So here is 20, here is 38, here is 24, and here is 12. So obviously Tuesday to Wednesday, you face the largest change in the number of books borrowed. So part B, in which of the 2 days were the ratio of the books borrowed 3:4? For this, I don't have a way for you to find out the answer, but the best way is to just try out the different numbers. But if you are fast, I think let's try Monday and Friday. So it's 54 to 72. So you try to round down you try to divide them and simplify your ratio to get 3:4. So you divide by 9, you should get 6:8. And you divide by 2 again, get 3:4. So your answer is Monday and Friday. Okay, next, still have 7 to 8 question more. So Eddie and his sister walked from home to school. His sister started walking at 8 a.m. at an average speed of 50 meters per minute. Eddie started walking at 8:05 a.m. at a speed of 60 meters per minute. Eddie caught up with his sister at a midpoint between the school and his house. Find the distance between Eddie's home and the school. Okay, so this is the home. I use H to represent, S is for school. So obviously they are going to school, so they'll walk in this direction. So let me draw the line. So Eddie caught up with his sister in the midpoint, and they did not say that what time did Eddie caught up with his sister. Okay, so we have to use other information. So the question says that Eddie's sister started walking at 8 a.m. while Eddie started walking at 8:05 a.m. So we want to find out how much further has his sister actually walked before Eddie started walking. So obviously the sister walked 5 minutes before Eddie. So we use 5 minutes, and her speed was 50 meters per minute. So it will be 250 meters. So let's go back to the drawing. So let's say Eddie just started walking from his house. His sister is already 250 meters away from him, like away from his house. So in order for Eddie to catch up with his sister, his speed needs to be faster, right? So in the question, the question actually gives that Eddie's speed was 60 meter per minute, the sister's speed was 50 meter per minute. So in 1 minute, you can find out that actually Eddie walked how much more than his sister. So in 1 minute, Eddie actually walked 10 meters more than his sister. Okay, and since his sister is 250 meters before him, we can find out how many minutes Eddie need to walk for to cover this extra 250 meters. So we take 250 meters divided by 10 meter per minute. So we get 25 minutes. So Eddie have to walk 25 minutes to catch up with his sister. So as you can know, at the 25 minutes mark, Eddie will be here with his sister in the midpoint. So to find out the distance between Eddie's house and the school, first we find the distance to the midpoint. So in 25 minutes, Eddie walked 60 meters per minute times 25 minutes. That should be 1,500 meters. So from this point to this point is actually 1500 meter, and that's the halfway mark. So to find from Eddie's house to the school, it's actually 1500 meters times 2, 3000 meters, or you can just convert it to 3 km. Okay, next question 11. The pie chart shows the different types of fruit in the shop. There was an equal number of grapes and apples. There were 16 more mangoes than grapes. There were 200 fruits altogether. What was the total number of mango, grapes, and apples? So they want you to find the total number of mango, grapes, and apple which are not labeled in the pie chart here. So they label that orange is 35%, pears is 12%. So part A. So total there were 200 fruits altogether, right? So we can actually find how many oranges and pears there are. So there's 35 over 100 times 200. This is 35%. So cancel, you get 70. So I have 70 oranges. So 12% is actually 24. So I have 24 pears. So they want you to find out how many mangoes, grapes, and apples here, right? So you just take the whole thing minus these two. So total I got 200 fruits. I minus 70 minus 24. So I take 200 minus 94, which is 106. So there should be 106 of mangoes, grapes, and apples. Okay, next part B. How many apples were there? Okay, so we have to use the information from the first part of the question again. They say that there were equal number of grapes and apples. There's 16 more mangoes than grapes. Okay, so I will draw a model. So mangoes has 16 more than grapes. So grapes should have 1 unit, mango should be at 1 unit plus 16. And since apple and grapes have the same, apple is also 1 unit. And all this we have calculated at the first part of the question is 106. So after that, go and find what is 1 unit, which is 106 minus 16, which is 90. 90 is 3 units. So 1 unit equals to 90 divided by 3, which is 30. And there you go. The answer is 30 because apple is actually 1 unit. Okay, next. Question 12. The ratio of the number of boys to girls in group A is 4:1. the ratio of the number of boys to girls in group B is 2:3. There were twice as many children in group A as in group B. What was the ratio of the number of boys in group A to the number of boys in group B? For part A, part B, 10 boys and 10 girls left in group B. The ratio of the number of boys in group B to the number of girls in group B became 1:2. How many children were there in group A? First go and write your ratio. So I got group A, group B. So B for boy, G for girl. So go and label nicely. 4:1, 2:3. So I've used these two lines already. So the next line they say there were twice as many children in group A as in group B. So if you look at the units here, you can treat ratios as units. Group A have 5 units because 4 plus 1. Group B also have 5 units, which is 2 plus 3, 5 units. But they say that there were twice as many children in group A than group B. So by right, group A should have 10 units, right? So now what we need to do is to times 2 for the ratio here, which is 8:2. Okay, you can say that why the units is not in simplified form is because now I'm treating the ratio as units, so you don't simplify it. Okay, so part A, they want you to find the ratio of the number of boys in group A to the number of boys in group B. So the number of boys in group A to the number of boys in group B. So it's 8:2. Group A, group B. And this, because it's a ratio, so please simplify, you get 4:1. Okay. So 12B is a bit more complicated. It say that 10 boys and 10 girls left group B. The ratio of the number of boys in group B to the number of girls in group B. So we are just focusing on group B here now. So after minusing 10 from each of them, the ratio become 1:2. So how many children were there in group A? Okay, this is a bit complicated, but let's try. The ratio of the number of boys in group B to the number of girls in group B is 1:2. Okay. So, I always write before. Boys is to girls is 2:3 units. After that, it became 1:2. So you see that actually they minus 1 unit. They also minus 1 unit. And they say that 10 boys and 10 girls left, right? So I can assume that 1 unit is actually 10. So with that, they ask you how many children were there in group A. So looking back at group A here, please do not look at this. Do not look at this. Please don't. Our focus is here because it should be 10 units. So 10 units equals to 10 times 10 equals to 100. That's my answer. Okay, next. Okay, question 13, volume question. The figure shows an empty flower vase of height 20 cm. It is made from 2 containers. The top container is in the form of a cuboid which has a square base of 3 cm. So this is the base, or I can say here's the base, 3 cm. And the height of 12 cm. The bottom container is in the form of a cuboid measuring 15 cm by 9 cm by 8 cm. So length times breadth times height. They say that 1.18 liters of water is poured into the empty vase. Find the height of the water level from the base of the vase. Okay, so for this type of question, you see there's actually two cuboids, right? I normally calculate the volume for each cuboid separately. So let's start off with the big cuboid. So 15 cm times 9 cm times 8 cm. Use a calculator. Should get 1080 cm cube. Next, find the volume of the cuboid here. So it's 3 cm times 3 cm times 12 cm. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 12 should give me 108 cm cube. Next, they told you that they actually poured 1.18 liters of water into the empty vase. 1.18 liters. Convert the units to cm cube, so it will be easier for you. So 1 liter is actually 1000 cm cube, and 1/8 of a liter, if you use the calculator, it should be 125 cm cube, or simply you can just use the calculator to find for you. Let me double check. 118 times 1000. Yeah, so 1125 cm cube. So the water poured in is actually 1125 cm cube. So at first you'll fill your bottom cuboid. Your bottom cuboid is this. So you take 1125 cm cube minus 1080 cm cube. You are left with 45 cm cube. So the remaining 45 cm cube will occupy this smaller cuboid on the top. So to find the height, because the water will be, let's just draw on this. Let's just say the water is until here. So now you want to find the height. So to find the height here, you take the volume divided by the base area. The base area is actually 3 cm times 3 cm, which is 9 cm square. So you get 5 cm. So the height here should be 5 cm, which is somewhere halfway. And they want you to find the height of the water level from the base of the vase, so from the bottom to the water level. So 5 cm here, 8 cm here. So in total 5 cm plus 8 cm, the height is actually 13 cm. Okay. Next, question 14, last few question. Joyce had some money. She bought a dress, a shirt, and a watch. She spent one fifth of her money on the shirt. The shirt cost $24 less than the dress. The watch cost $102. She was left with 1/4 of the money she had at first. How much money did Joyce have at first? So she bought 3 things: dress, shirt, watch. So the easiest is the watch, because I just need a label that is $102. Next, she spent 1/5 of her money on the shirt, and the shirt cost $24 less than the dress. So let's just say there is 1 unit. The shirt is 1 unit. Okay, and the dress should cost $24 more than the shirt. So it's 1 unit plus 24. Okay, since she said that she spent one fifth of her money on the shirt, can I say that in total she has Joyce have actually 5 units of money? Okay, so this so at first she had 5 units of money. Then after that she spent on all these 3 things. She's left with 1/4 of her money. So you see, there's a lot of fraction. It's very confusing and so forth. So in order to make things easier to see, you have to make them the same. So what do I mean by make them the same? So here you say the base is 4. Here the base is 5. So we can make them the same by making the base the same. So for example, I can combine and I can change this to, actually Joyce have 20 units. Okay, so at first it's 20 units, then after that she minus away all this, and after that she have 1/4 of her money, which is 1/4 of 20 units is actually 5 units. Okay, then she spent 1/5 on the skirt, so 1/5 of 20 units is 4 units. If this 4 units, this is also 4 units. So now everything looks more complete, because at first I know it's 20 units. Then I spend all this money, I'm left with 5 units. So with this, I can say that actually this whole thing that she actually spent 15 units of money. So using this model, you can actually find out what is 1 unit. So this 4 units here is 8 units, right? So 8 units plus another 7 units should give me 15 units. So what it means is that actually $102 plus $24 is 7 units. So 7 units equals to 102 plus $24, which is $126. So 1 unit is $126 divided by 7, which is $18. So question 1, you'll find how much money did Joyce have at first. So at first is my before. She have 20 units, so 20 units equals to $18 times 20, which is $360. Okay, moving on. Question 15. Box A contain only 50-cent coins. Box B contain only 20-cent coins. Box B has 60 more coins than A, but the value of all the coins in box A is $4.50 more than the value of all the coins in B. Find the amount of money in A. So I got A, only got 50-cent coins. B only got 20-cent coins. So box B has 60 more coins than A. So A got this much of coins, B has this much and 60 more. But the value of all the coins in A is $4.50 more than the value of all the coins in B. Okay, find the amount of money in box A. Okay, for this, I need you to visualize. Let me use the example. So if B is all 50-cent coins like A, I have 60 more coins. What does this mean? 60 more coins. So it means that I have 60 times 50-cent more coins. So I should actually have $30 more than A. If box B is made out of 50-cent coins. Okay? But actually box B is made out of 20-cent coins. So you can just take the 20 cent times 60. You get $12. So by right, box B should have $12 more than A. But in the end, A still have $4.50 more than B. Why? Because every one coin here is 30 cents more than the coin here. So we have to add the $12 plus $4.50, which is $16.50. This represents that if there is no 60 extra 20-cent coins, A will be $16.50 more than B. Just looking at this part and this part. So we also know that each coin of A is 50 cents, each coin of B is 20 cents. So each coin is 30 cents more than another coin in B. So we take $16.50 divided by 30 cents to get 55. Okay, with that we know that here there's 55 coins, here is 55 coins, and they want you to find the amount of money in box A. So we take 55 times 50 cents, which is $27.50. That's my answer. Okay, let me repeat again if you didn't catch that. So we know that there's 60 more coins in B, so we take 60 cents times 20 cents. So that is why there's a $12 extra. But since box A has 450 more, we must add to the $12 because obviously box A contains 50 cent coins and the value will be higher than B. So we add the 450 more. So by right, if we ignore the 60 20 cent coins in box B, the value of the coins in A compared to the value of the coins in B should be $16.50 more. So with that, we know that the difference of each coin is 30 cents. We can find out that actually how many coins are there in each of the boxes. Actually the boxes in A. So the box in A, the number of coins is 55 coins. And with that, we can find the amount of money in box A. Okay, moving on. Question 16. Last two questions. So in the figure below, P, Q, R and S is a trapezium. P, Q, R, S. So this is a trapezium. So this side and this side is parallel. PS and VR are parallel as well. So if we were to say what is this shape, PSRV, this is actually a parallelogram. And they say that VR is the same as QR. So please label VR equals to QR. So this is a isosceles triangle. Okay, first question want you to find angle E. Okay. So we know that PSVR is a parallelogram. First, we can find what is this angle with PSR. So part A, angle PSR equals to 180 degrees minus 76 degrees, which is 104 degrees. Okay. So using the parallelogram, we can find what is this angle as well, because top plus bottom should give me 180 degrees. So angle VPU is 180 degrees minus 104 degrees, 76 degrees. So if those of you who are faster, you should know that actually this equals to this angle, because these two lines are parallel and they are on the same line. So with this, I can find what is this angle. So it's angle PUV equals to 180 degrees minus 76 degrees minus 10 degrees. So I get 94 degrees. So last part, you want to find angle E, right? So angle E equals to 180 degrees minus 94 degrees, which is 86 degrees. Okay. So part B, they want you to find F. So right here. Okay. Okay, they say this is obviously a straight line. So, and you know that this is a parallelogram. So this whole thing is actually 104 degrees. So with that, you can find what is this angle, right? And since the isosceles triangle, you also know what is this angle, and you can find angle F. So let's start. So angle RVQ equals to 180 degrees minus 104 degrees, which is 76 degrees. So this 76 degrees, this should be 76 degrees also. Last part, angle F equals to 180 degrees minus 76 minus 76, and you should get 28 degrees. Okay? So it's very important when you read the question, please go and label. So when you label, you can realize, oh, this is a parallelogram. When you label this, oh, this is a isosceles triangle. It'll be easier for you to find out what is the answer if you label your question. So last question, 17. Okay, a figure is drawn on a square piece of paper with length 40 cm as shown below. Its outline consists of two identical large quarter circles, one smaller quarter circle, one semicircle, and three straight lines. The length of AB is 4 cm. Find the perimeter of the figure. Find the area of the figure and find the perimeter of the figure. Okay, so 17A. Okay, for this question, the printing is a bit off, but I'll try to do this question. I'll see my answer matches the answer key, and yeah. So they say that the outline is actually two identical large quarter circle. Here and here, I guess. One smaller quarter circle here, one semicircle, and three straight lines. So you can say that this whole thing is the figure lah. Okay. So first part, they want you to find the area of the figure. Okay, this is if you see a question, right, they actually cut it for you so nice. It's cut so nicely. So this is 20 cm, this is 20 cm. Okay, so let me shape nicely. So if you realize this big quarter circle, if I shift it here, it's actually just a box. You can just find the area of this box, find the area of this semicircle, and you find your area here, this part. Let me use a red pen and color for you guys so you can see. So this is my first part. These two add up to a square, and this is my three parts. So there's three parts. So first thing, easiest thing, find the area of a cube. 20 cm times 20 cm equals to 400 cm cube, square, sorry. Next, let's find the area of the semicircle. So be careful, the radius of the semicircle is actually 10, it's not 20. So half times pi times r, which is 10 cm times r. Pi r square, right? So that's the area of a circle. So use a calculator. Half times 3.14 times 10 times 10. So 157 cm square. Okay, so this 157 cm square. Next, you have to find the red part. So they told you that they minus 4 cm off here. So here to here should be 16 cm. To find the red part, actually you just need to use 1 cube minus your quarter circle here. So find the area of the quarter circle, which is 1/4 times pi times 16 cm times 16 cm. Use a calculator again. 3.14 times 16. 16 times 16. So you should get 200.96 cm square. So we minus, this is the area that we don't want. I will label 296 cm square. So I want the red part, 400 cm square minus 200.96 cm square. So it's 199.04 cm square. So this is the one that I want, this is the one I want, this is the one that I want. So add up together, 400 cm square plus 157 cm square plus 199.04 cm square. So using a calculator will be faster. So the answer should be 756.04 cm square, which is similar to the answer sheet. So I think it's correct. Okay, last part, 17b. So what is the parameters? The question want you to find what is the parameter of the figure. Okay, I'm getting a bit dizzy already. So here's 4 cm, here's 4 cm. From here to here is 20 cm, right? Okay, so so now you need to find 3 parts. Let me use another color pen to draw for you guys. So here, here, and here. These two are the same, so you can take it as you're finding a circumference for a semicircle, or you can just times 2 lah. Okay, so let's start with this. So 1/4 times pi times 2 times radius, 2 pi r. Okay, so this should give you 31.4 cm. So this is 31.4 cm. Here is also 31.4 cm. Times 2, 62.8 cm. Okay, I will draw 2 lines to remember that this is what I want. Next, you can find this. The radius is 10. So half times pi times 2 times 10 cm. So it's also 31.4 cm, and this is what we want. Okay, last one. Here, 1/4 times pi times 2 times 16 cm. So use a calculator. 1/4 times 3.14 times 2 times 16. You get 25.12 cm. This is also what you want. Yeah. So you got this 25.12 cm. Here is 31.4 cm. This is 31.4 cm also. This is also 31.4 cm. So to find a parameter, you have to add this, the green parts plus the 3 lines. 4 cm here, 4 cm here, 20 cm here. So add them up together. Plus 4 cm plus 4 cm plus 20 cm. 8 plus 1.4, 5.12 plus 4 plus 4 plus 20. So my answer is 147.32 cm. Okay, so that's the end for Anglo-Chinese Primary School Combined Prelim Examinations 2019 P6 Math paper. As usual, I will put the links to the exam paper in the description box below, and do comment in the comment section box below if there's any school that you would like me to do. And as usual, do like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching. See you next time.